Now, losing is a tough pill to swallow. It's even more bitter when the contest has been acrimonious and intense, like when the England men's cricket team faced India recently. Now, while they can find some solace in the fact that it was not an outright defeat, the moral victory after 2-all result was India's, and they leapfrogged England in the WTC standings. So yes, England has come out of this tour feeling beaten, knocked out and down in the dumps. But you know what's worse than that? Australia rubbing salt in England's wounds. They have already launched into England, sparking off mind games and a warfare that is only bound to get more acrid as we approach D-Day. Now, it is the biggest rivalry, to say that's what the two countries say themselves. In fact, in the words of a cricket expert, this series, England's series against India, was meant to be a mere warm-up for the hosts. A warm-up win, in fact, to prep them for Australia and send out a warning that England was ready and they looked threatening. They were supposed to come out of this on top, and convincingly so. None of that really happened, making even their most ardent mouthpiece, Michael Vaughan, backtrack, stating this.
With Ben Stokes in the side, they can beat anybody. Without him, they can lose to anybody. If he pulls this off and gets his hands on the urn in Sydney in January, it really would be his greatest miracle.
It would be a miracle if they ended up beating Australia. The truth is, all that Bazball-inspired bravado translating to the hostile exchanges between India and England came to naught. If anything, this series put up a mirror in front of England, in front of Brendon, McCullum, the coach, and Captain Ben Stokes in particular. What was supposed to be a belligerent display, backed by solid performances on the field, turned into a crybaby act. India had the last laugh, and that ought to hurt England. They did not get this one right, not statistically, and definitely not with the war of words. Despite all of that, Ben Stokes is excited for his next challenge.
The series as a whole has been pretty much toe-to-toe for 25 days. The way in which we've been able to perform throughout the series, I'm looking forward to getting to Australia and doing what we want to go out there and do.
But guess who's more gleefully awaiting this contest to begin? It's Australia, because they have started their taunts well in advance. So what's really happened? Stokes' handshake-gate has travelled like wildfire, finding its way into rugby. Now, there was a game between British and Irish Lions and Australia. The ABC reporter who was covering the game decided to try something ingenious and managed to ask 16 Lions fans if they would accept a draw like Stokes offered India, if they would accept Stokes' handshake. If this was not enough, guess what? All 16 of them said no. Trust Australia to play the rogue here, taking the Stokes handshake and turning it into a bit of a showpiece act. And not even in the same sport, but got to give it to Australia to know how to strike, because Ben Stokes has a bit of a rugby connect too. Now, we all know he hails from New Zealand, but here's the fun fact. His late father Gerard has represented New Zealand in the Rugby League, even served as coach. Australia was keenly watching this contest between India and England for obvious reasons, but they are also primed. And when I say they, I mean the whole machinery. The players, the entire squad, management, the fans, and of course the media. To rally around each other and make sure they make it all very, very uncomfortable for the opposition even before they step onto the field. And that's what Australia has done here. So while England is still reeling from the series against India and licking its wounds, Australia is already waiting to attack.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj ho.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 以上も.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.